Make it make sense! Good morning. I have your energy update for Monday, August 4th. Hi, my name is Paula Taylor. I'm a sound and energy activator, intuitive reader and channeler, body worker, and fearless alchemist, and I coach people on the path to spiritual awakening. So this is what I've been thinking for like the last 4 or 5 days is like, make it make sense. And finally everything clicked into place this morning. And this is one of the rare times that I made a video, and I'm going to try to make it again and be a little more concise because I feel like I was really rambling. So we're going to talk about time accordioning and then deep cleaning. So last Monday I made a video. I was super excited. A lot of you were there with me and we were like, Christmas has come. We feel so amazing. Kind of went on through Wednesday. We finally had the actual timeline jump show up on the Schumann around like Friday. And then this weekend was just so freaking weird. Like timey-wimey, which I call time accordioning, but Aaron Brown and Gia both say timey-wimey. I like that too. And then this deep cleaning thing is finally what came through and like made sense. So let's talk about the time accordioning first, because we've been doing this for a while, but like every time we jump into a new frequency, which is all a timeline jump is, we jump into a more expanded, more clear, more harmonious frequency. Our experience with time changes. Like the further into the 5D our consciousness goes, the less we experience the linearity of time that we'll always experience as humans, but we start to see that it's not like 60 equals seconds equals a minute. It's like there's a stretch and then there's a contraction, because when it stretches, we have to kind of make up for that overall with the contraction. And I was talking to a friend who's not necessarily into this kind of stuff, and she was talking about noticing this too. And last week I was in a session, and most of my sessions are 90 minutes. So I have a really good sense of like what 90 minutes feels like. I also have a really good internal clock. And so the first 45 minutes of this session were like 4 hours long. Like I looked at the clock and I was like, how could we possibly have 45 minutes left? Like I've been here for 2 hours. And then like 5 minutes later, I looked at the clock again and there were 5 minutes left. So the last like 40 minutes of that session went by in like 5 minutes, and it was like the accordion stretched so we could get done what we needed to do. And then it contracted back down. You could kind of think of it like a rubber band too. Like you can only stretch a rubber band so far before it's going to come back and contract. So it's really helpful to just understand that that's happening and just go with the flow around that. Like it can be really disconcerting and really weird to be like, I sat down at my computer and then like 5 minutes went by, but it was really 5 hours. It's like, it's going to keep doing that. And we're going to start, I think, getting more like accustomed to that. And it's just like, it's being in the 5D is more about being in the present moment. So as long as you're in the present moment, it doesn't really matter like what time is doing. It's like when you kind of look back and you go, geez, that whole day went by in like a minute, or like this day felt like it was 4 years long. Like just be in the present moment and know that the time is stretching, and it's just kind of helpful to understand that. And that leads me to the next thing, because I was just like, I could not understand this. And I think this is really important to understand anytime you have a big shift. So I got up Sunday morning, I sat down on the couch. I don't have a lot of time off, and it was the only day I had off with my husband. I only had like half a day because I had something to do later in the evening. And I looked around and I was like, oh my God, when did the house get so dirty? It's like super dirty. And some of that is the time accordioning. You know, it's like it wasn't dirty until it was dirty, and then it was really dirty. But also some of it was like me noticing this. And I realized this morning that this is a perfect analogy for what's going on when we make these big shifts. So in order to make a shift into a new frequency, we have to let a lot of stuff go. And then when we get to the new frequency, all of a sudden, a lot of other stuff looks like dirty, or it looks dense, or it feels off. And I have another good analogy around this. So last week on Monday, I made that video, and it was just like everything felt so expansive and wonderful. And I was like in that shift. And then Tuesday morning, I walked into my treatment room and I was like, oh, what happened in here? Like, it's so dense. It's so dark. It's so muddy. I don't understand. And like, there's another practitioner who works there, but like it never feels like that when I walk into the space. Like we both do a good job clearing the space. And now looking back on that, I realized like I was different. I moved into that much clearer and more expanded and more harmonious frequency. And so when I walked into a space that before had felt okay to me, like I was noticing that it was like, I was noticing all the muddiness from before the shift. And I had to do a lot of work to kind of move that. So I think there's like a feeling, we talked about kind of the letdown of the day after Christmas or so, like when you move into a really expanded frequency, when you have one of these timeline jumps, whether it's personal, I think when it's collective, there's more energy moving, so it can be more obvious. At first it's like, oh, this is amazing. And then it's like, and now there's more work to be done because I can see all of the dirt that I didn't see before. I need to do another deep cleaning to be able to stay in this frequency, to be able to fully embody this frequency in a more permanent way. It's like I've got to start looking at the things that made it with me into this frequency that are no longer serving me in this more expanded and harmonious space. So if you were like in that really amazingness and like feeling really good, and then it almost feels like you kind of got knocked down, or like it's like there's sometimes a worry like, I lost it. Oh my God, I lost it. That's not what's happening. What's happening is you are now noticing all of the little things, or sometimes big things, that need to be worked through. There's more energetic and emotional work that needs to be done in order to release the things that are no longer serving you in this amazing frequency. Like, yes, we made it. And there's always more work to be done. And so that really helped me understand that when I thought about it in terms of like deep cleaning. It's like, yeah, the house isn't dirty until it's dirty, and then it's really dirty. Or then it's like, oh, when was the last time, like I vacuumed along the baseboards, or when was the last time we actually cleaned the carpet? Like that's not necessarily something that you do super often, but when you need to do it, you really need to do it. And going into a wider, more expansive, more clear, more harmonious frequency is you're going to start noticing the muddiness, the contraction, and the discoherence, the disharmony even more. So that's a good thing. And you're probably going to need some help with this. And this is where I got all tongue-tied because my guide started trying to channel and I was still trying to talk and do energy in the last video. So now we have more time because I didn't ramble so much. So discernment. When you are choosing an individual to work with energetically, somatically, whatever it is, it's so important to use your discernment, especially now more than ever, because just like the general population, not everybody who does this work is working with the highest and most illuminated good in all moments. And we're all human, we're imperfect, but the intention is so important. The fact that you feel resonant with them is so important. And you can do a lot of this work on your own, and you need support around some of this, especially the bigger things that need to be moved. So just understand that you can trust your discernment, and you can ask the practitioner, what is your intention when you're working with someone? And if they don't say something to you like, I always intend to work with your highest and most illuminated, most benevolent, whatever it is, I'm working with the highest good, that tells you that they're trying to get their ego out of it and to work with what is truly in your best interest. And that can be a hard thing to do. And now they're like, yes, you got it out this time. All right. So I'm going to give you some energy for today. Don't do this while you're driving. Close your eyes if you can. Put a hand or two on your heart. Put something in the comments just saying you consent. Let's do a little deep cleaning and just kind of soothing and supportive energy today. Kaya kaya na kaya kaya ka ata kaya na kaya 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 na ka ita ke kaya na kaya kaya na kaya kaya ke kaya ma yama 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 shaya sana ata kaya na kaya kaya ita ka kaya na ka kaya na kaya na kaya na kaya ka uyama say aye ooh yeah ooh yeah ooh yeah ooh yeah ooh yeah say ama say aye Wherever you are in this process, know that you're loved, know that you're supported, know that you've made it to this new frequency. There's just some deep cleaning left to be done, and you've got what it takes to do that. Have a beautiful rest of your day.